People within and outside of the church, many of them are anxious and fearful about the times we live in. You come into this position with tremendous passion and enthusiasm and confidence as well. Where does it come from?
I have a deep sense of being enrooted in the God who is always, always with us. And one of my favorite lines, almost as if Paul were summing up the gospel in a letter, saying there's nothing in all creation that can separate us from the love of God. I root myself in that, and I root myself also in a deep trust in people's goodness. I know we mess up and we make mistakes, but you've only to look deep in a person and you can always see the goodness, even if there's been trouble or hurt and some behaviors that then move sideways. So it's a sense of the God within, and we can see that, and then the God who is far ahead and saying, come on, jump into the pool, jump off the diving board.
When you spoke to commissioners earlier in the week, you spoke about a vision of having every congregation in the United Church engaging in discernment. Can you say a little more about that vision?
Yes. It's clear to me, and I think to all of us here within the United Church, that we're facing big challenges. We all know the statistics, and I have a friend who's actually called Dr. Doom and Gloom. And I think we need an opportunity, an invitation. It wouldn't be ever mandatory, but an invitation if every congregation could on its own, but in partnership with others, have a time to say, so really, who are we? And can we face our fears? And can we articulate a trust in God? I've heard from so many people how important the Arn Prior experience was in terms of taking time to discern and to be rooted in God and yet still feel the call into the world. And I yearn that every congregation would have an Arn Prior opportunity. So can you imagine if we have 2,500 gatherings of folk who are wrestling with similar questions, and then would develop a language that allows them to focus on some of the issues and then compare notes? Because sometimes when we do it alone, we can either become unrooted from what's realistic or limited in our vision. But if you actually do your process, then connect with another congregation in a structured way, and you can look at each other and say, oh, you thought that. Well, we did. No, we forgot that. Are you out of your mind? That's not going to be a possibility. And share notes like that. One of the things that often happens, I think, when we develop programs is that people are inspired, and then come home to a community that didn't share that experience. So what I'm hungry for is an experience on the ground that the maximum number of people can share together, and then see where that leads.
So where have you seen the Spirit moving at GC 41? Where are you finding hope in this General Council?
I'm finding it in the willingness of people just to stick with it. You may have heard of some of the late night commissions and the struggle we've had with wordsmithing. So I think that was one area. I think in the way we were trying to struggle with issues of justice, particularly around Israel-Palestine. I thought people took that seriously, and we've worked hard. But I've also seen it in our moments of worship and our moments of celebration. And when that crowd gets rolling with music, you almost feel like there's no stop in the Spirit.
Thank you.